the dressings are appropriate for many different things that you may want on your menu. It doesn't matter if it happens to be, for example, fried shrimp. The 4-cheese dressing makes an exceptional dipping sauce for this. Or it can be used for a sandwich. If you're making, say, for example, a turkey club, excellent choice to put on there. This can also be used for pasta salads. Here in front of me, you'll see a nice chopped salad with a grilled Cajun chicken breast on it. And we also have the currant and plum dressing alongside of it. All of the recipes will be supplied at the end of the video. What we want you to do when the video starts is to watch and concentrate on methods. Don't worry about portions. Don't worry about quantities. Watch and listen and learn on methods. Methods control recipes. Without methods, recipes don't exist. Learning methods far more critical than learning recipes. It's pretty much like fishing. If you give a fish to somebody, they eat one time. If you teach them to fish, they eat for a lifetime. Same thing holds true with recipes. If you learn a recipe, you know how to make one thing. If you learn a method, you learn how to make many things. So that's what we're going to be doing with all of our videos, concentrating on learning methods. And we're about to start in a moment, but man, I'm really thirsty, so I think I'm going to add to my lemonade here a shot of sorbet, and that happens to be a hibiscus and peach sorbet. Now you're probably saying to yourself, hey, this is a salad dressing video. What's going on there with the sorbets? Well, you're going to have to check out the exotic sorbet video to find out what we did when we made this hibiscus and peach sorbet and why we're using it in our lemonade. And now we start. Next up, we're going to do a plum and currant vinaigrette. This type of a dressing goes especially well with Cajun food, something that's got a little bit of a kick to it. Sweet vegetables, roasted chicken, jerk chicken. You want to take it and strip the meat off the bone, put it into a salad. Great combination for it. This can even go with any type of a fruit salad as well too. So what we're going to do is we're going to start first with our currants, which in this case we're using dried currants that have been soaked in the vinegar. And the reason we're doing that is because the market didn't have any fresh currants, which took us all by surprise. So we're substituting, and we're using dried currants, and we're going to use fresh plums, some nice fresh plums, red plums. Our seasonings are already mixed together and measured. Our corn oil is ready and present. And we're going to use some Guatemalan honey to sweeten it up just a little bit. And our recipe calls for fruit juice that's congruent with whatever it is that we're doing. In this case, plums and currants. So what we're going to do is we're going to use some red currant white wine. Nice touch. We're going to start it off by setting up our Cuisinart, making sure that it's hooked up correctly, the blade is in the proper position and sunk in properly, and we're going to let the machine do the work for us. Now we're going to add our white wine. Now we're going to turn it off momentarily and scrape it down and get all those pieces off the top lid. Then we're going to start it back up again. Now we're going to stop it, and what we're going to do is we're going to check and see the inside of it where it's chopped up pretty good and the pieces are nice and small, if noticeable at all, other than what's stuck to the side of the bowl. We're now going to add our fresh plums. So we've got a nice, smooth, simple mix. Now it does have pieces of skin in it and whatnot. You can do one of two things. You can leave it as it is. There's no problem with that at all. Or what you can do is you can strain this part and then clear your mixer and start over, putting the strained portion back into the mixer. Your choice. In this case, we're not going to bother because of the type of salads that we're going to be using it for. So this will be more than sufficient to handle the job. One of the things we are going to do is the lid is going to be removed, and we're going to add our seasonings. And we're going to add our honey. Oh, this is really cool Guatemalan honey, and very, very nice quality. Make sure we don't waste any. It traveled a long way to be a salad dressing. And we're all set and ready to rock and roll. Put our lid back in, and we continue. Now we have everything in here already. The vinegar was added when we did the currants. We have our wine in here that we used as a substitute for the juice. And our seasonings are in here, our plums are in here, the currants are in here. Everything's in here except for one last ingredient, and that's the corn oil. Since we're doing an emulsified dressing, we're going to add our corn oil to this mix while the machine is on, slowly. And we'll let the machine do the work for us. Once again, as a reminder, remember, you cannot do this style of salad dressing like this with any other oil. It must be corn oil. If you use any other oils, the salad dressing will separate. The only way to prevent that is to add an egg yolk to this and start over. And we don't want to do that because we're making a relatively healthy dressing. There's not going to be any cholesterol in this, no added sugar, and our oil is literally non-saturated fats. With vinegar and fresh fruit, not so bad at all. Okay, we're going to do this, and we're going to do this slow. That way we make sure that we do not have any problems with it emulsifying and holding together. Now, as you can see, when the oil is added, the dressing starts to change color. It's getting a little duller color to it. That's because the vinegar is emulsifying the corn oil properly. There you have it. Simple and to the point. We take our lid off, and we're going to get you a little bit closer here. You can see how the dressing is not separating. See how it holds together? The oil doesn't come out. And now you know you have the dressing is done properly and it's holding together. Okay, next up we're going to make a 4-cheese dressing. This is going to be a creamy dressing. We're going to use egg yolks. This will give it the creamy texture that we're looking for. And we're going to be using 4 different types of cheeses. We're going to be using Asiago, Romano, Parmesan, and Provolone, all mixed together already. We have our seasonings, again, already pre-measured and put out to the side. Basil, parsley, black pepper, salt. And we're going to add some white vinegar to it. This is a white wine vinegar. And in case you're wondering what we're going to be using today, there it is right there for reference sake. And we're going to be using a combination of corn oil and olive oil. Now you can use pretty much any combination of oils that you want to use for something like this. You can use canola oil, vegetable oil, doesn't matter, totally up to you. The eggs are the binding agent along with the vinegar, so you don't have any issues about having to use a specific oil. All of them will work with this. And what we're going to do is add our vinegar, turn the machine on, let it go for just a couple of seconds so it's well mixed, and then we're going to add our seasonings. Actually, we can actually add them now. Take a step out of this. So here we go. And make sure our top is secured. Bowl is ready. And we're going to slowly add our corn oil so that the eggs have a chance to bind with it with the RPMs of the machine. You can see how it's getting thicker and creamier. So the eggs are doing their job along with the machine. And to finish it off, we're going to use a little bit of olive oil. Just about an ounce, maybe 2. And this part of it is done. You can see the texture of the 4-cheese dressing, how it's literally thick enough to hold a ridge by itself. This makes it perfect for mixing into a salad and spreading out. Pasta salads, green leafy salads, vegetables. This can also be used as a side accompaniment for any type of grilled fish or chicken if you so desire. Grilled vegetables. Totally up to your imagination. Now we're going to add our cheese and give it a few blasts. This way we're going to keep the cheese in relatively large pieces. This will be not only good for the flavor of the dressing itself, but also too will give us like a little bit of a garnish. And just like that, we're done. And there you go. There's your texture. You're all set and ready to rock and roll. A nice, thick, creamy cheese that you can use on sandwiches. You can use this literally as a dipping sauce for wings. Totally up to you. Okay, we're going to begin our first of a series of emulsified salad dressings. Emulsified salad dressings, you can only do these with corn oil. Corn oil, a food processor, and acidity. The acidity is going to be supplied by malt vinegar and lemon juice. This particular dressing, a Jack Daniels Malt Vinegar dressing, is great with grilled food on top of a chopped salad. So we're going to begin by putting all our ingredients in here first. Inside the Cuisinart right now, we have our Jack Daniels, our malt vinegar, and our molasses. We're going to add our lemon juice and our seasonings. Close it up. Turn it on, and then we're going to let our machine do the work. We're going to slowly add the corn oil to the machine while it's running. And we're going to let the machine blend the corn oil with the rest of the ingredients. And when it's done, the dressing will not separate. and you'll have a nice, even, blended final product. And just like that, in a matter of seconds, you have a finished product where your salad dressing is not going to separate. No eggs. Very rich, very decadent. Now you can make a dressing like this thicker by using more acidic products and more corn oil. If it separates on you by accident because you added your corn oil too quick, set it on the counter, allow it to separate the rest of the way on its own, skim off the corn oil, put everything else back into the Cuisinart, turn it on, and slowly add the corn oil back to it and start over. And you'll be all set and ready to rock and roll. Shelf life on something like this is usually anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks when it's stored properly in a refrigerator in an airtight container, 40 degrees and less. Okay, now we're going to make another salad dressing. We're going to make a fire-roasted red bell pepper dressing. And what we're going to do is we're going to literally puree a red bell pepper, and we're going to use some of our roasted garlic that we did earlier. And we have apple cider vinegar in here and lemon juice. And we're going to add our seasonings, which consist of salt, black pepper, basil, oregano, chives, and some smoked paprika. Seal it up and fire it up. And it's one of the reasons why you keep your hand on top of this when you fire it up, so in case anything tries to squirt out, you can contain it. Now, as this mix blends and gets more and more smooth, we'll turn it off and check it for lumps, and then we're going to incorporate our corn oil. And you can see from the movement inside the Cuisinart that it's getting smoother and smoother because it's not jumping up as erratically as it once was. Okay, now that we've got it cleaned up, we're ready to rock and roll, we're going to put our corn oil in next. Remember, we always add the corn oil towards the middle of the Cuisinart. This allows the blades to incorporate it. Very important. Alright? You can see how the color changed once the corn oil was added. Now we're going to take this one step further, and we're going to actually put a touch of yogurt in here. Let's set our top down for a second. Yeah. We're using about 2.5 tablespoons of yogurt, maybe 3. Again, that's subjective. It's not going to change this at all. It's just a matter of personal taste. And just like that, we're done. And we'll bring the camera in a little bit closer so you can see the congruity of the dressing. You see how it's nice and thick. It doesn't separate. This is an excellent little salad dressing for pastas, heavier wintertime dishes, even for cold salads. Say, for example, something that's more robust like a grilled salad. It will work really well with this. Okay, you're probably wondering, wow, what a great recipe. Currant and plum vinaigrette. But what do I serve it with? Well, how about this as a starting point? We have a nice bowl of mixed greens, and we've added kiwi, plum tomatoes, Persian cucumbers, strawberries, banana chips, and we've even got some clean limes in there, along with some yellow bell peppers and some orange bell peppers. So we've got a very nice, interesting mix of sweet vegetables, and we have a very nice accompaniment or counterbalance of fruit. And we have our dressing on the side, but what if you want something a little bit more substantial and robust? Well, what we can do is we can add some Cajun chicken to it. This is Cajun chicken breast, and now you're all set. Simple and to the point. Any type of little variations that you want to do with this to suit your needs, to suit the way you eat, fit your diet, fit your tastes, fit what you have on hand to use. Go for it and enjoy. Remember, however you do it in your kitchen, that's the right way to do it because it's your kitchen. After about 5 or 6 minutes, we flip them over and we brown off the second side. And here we have a finished product. Our roasted red bell pepper sauce, fire roasted, is in the center of a shrimp cocktail with a bed of lettuce, excellent dipping sauce, and then the cup can be removed and used for the bed of lettuce that's underneath it and the tomatoes with a finishing salad. So it's a little bit of a palate cleanser after the shrimp are consumed and enjoyed. Okay, now we're going to show you how to use the basil aioli recipe for a hot pasta salad. First thing we did, we cooked off our penne, which is a tricolor penne, and we have some broccoli florets also cooked off with this. We'll set this to the side and you can see it's still steaming hot. And we have also cut up and ready to go some chicken and basil sausages, sun-dried tomato basil sausages, and we have also got some zucchini and some summer squash and some orange bell peppers, and some plum tomatoes already cut up and in here and ready to rock and roll. So what we're going to do is we're going to literally add our hot pasta and our broccoli to this dish. And we're going to give it a mix. Now it's going to cool off just slightly, and it's not going to actually be served hot, it's going to be served warm. And what we're also going to do is we're going to take our basil aioli and add this to it. Now because it's warm and not hot, we're going to be able to mix it up without the sauce separating. This makes for a much heartier version of a pasta salad. And what we're going to do is give it a little goosed up presentation. And we're going to literally add it to the plate right like so. And we have a very nice hearty dish. Lots of protein, lots of fiber, plenty of carbohydrates, and actually not that much fat because we didn't need that much to make the aioli itself. There we go. And we seem to be pretty well set. Set this to the side. And in just a couple of minutes, you have yourself a really good dish. Fresh basil aioli, warm pasta salad, greenfield sausages, and we have a really nice summertime dish. Fall, even in the wintertime. So if you want to serve a pasta salad in the wintertime, this is a really cool route to go.